Alright, this is my video for Gynostemma Pentaphyllum. And the common name for this, which you might not want to use because it's not much easier, it is Jaugulin, I guess is how you pronounce it. And whether or not that's right, that's how I'm going to refer to it. But I think it's pretty close. So let me be sure this shows up, because I'm just going to show you how to spell it if you're... So that's what it looks like. That's how you spell it. Anyway, so I think it's one of the number one herbs or supplements, period, that you might want to keep an eye on right now. And what I mean is, like, keep an eye on the research. It's got a list a mile long, seems, of health benefits. And I think, it's one of those things where it's like, so many things are attributed to it that you kind of want to be skeptical, because there's a lot that's being said about it, and there's a lot of research that's being done on it, but it's still more the preliminary type. So what I would say right now is, like, all signs are saying go ahead with the research, but it's just not been the most scrutinizing type of research. So basically, I mean, I don't know, like, how strongly you want to believe these claims, but you have nothing to lose. It's safe. So, but definitely keep an eye on it. So anyway, what are some of these claims? Well, it's supposed to be very good as an anti-diabetic. It's supposed to have anti-tumor properties, cholesterol. It's help control your cholesterol. It's supposed to help repair the dopaminergic circuits in your brain. So maybe Alzheimer's. More potentially help prevent Parkinson's. It's supposed to be very good for increasing endurance, possibly for weight loss. Let's see what else. I know there's some other things. Just general an adaptogen, and to help you deal with stress. So all right, I'm going to look at some of these. So one of the big categories of herbs and as an adaptogen, and I want to touch on this anti-stress properties. It does seem that if you take this to help with stress, you can't really take it if you're already stressed out. You got to preload it. You got to think ahead and just take it as like a preventative thing. But that shouldn't be too hard to do for the type of stress that most of us face. Like if it's due to your job or something, then take a vacation and maybe, you come back off the vacation, you preload with this, and you take it every day before you go to work. Maybe it'll help, something to experiment with. Basically, I'm not using it really right now because I'm trying to put on muscle, and since it's potentially anti-inflammatory, I don't understand this real well. I don't know if it would hurt me or not, but I know that your body needs inflammatory processes to recover from exercise, so I don't know if it's going to hurt me. But since it's purported to be good for weight loss and good for endurance, I think it would be really good for a cut, and that's what I'm saving it for. The other thing that I'm thinking I might use it for is I'm trying to get away from caffeine. Not altogether, but just quit abusing it pretty much. And part of the appeal of drinking coffee or even tea is that you just have something hot to drink, and it's, the habit. Well, this is nice because it doesn't have any caffeine in it, so I am thinking of using it also for, like, just to have something hot to drink, something herbal, so to help get me off of that. Okay, so I haven't seen it in a whole lot of places, and for the amount of health claims it's had, and, the research, even if it's preliminary research, it's been, pretty positive. So I would think that, some of these places would be all over this stuff, but I haven't seen a whole lot of it. And where I have seen it, I haven't seen many varieties of it. This is the Republic of Tea that puts this one out, and It's got some stuff in there to flavor it. I'm kind of a purist with my supplements, but like I said, it was the only one that my local health food store had, so I just went ahead and got it. I've tried it by itself before too, and it's fine. Something to keep in mind about it, it has three main categories of bioactive components in it. It's got the saponins, and more specifically ginsenosides, which are the active ingredients in Panax ginseng. It's got more recently what's being looked at is it has polysaccharides that seem to be useful in medicinal sort of ways, and it's got flavonoids. Now, I think the flavonoids are the least important. There's two main varieties of ginseng, or I'm sorry, jiaogulin supplements. One of them is extracts that are made from the root, and the other, like this, is leaves that you can use to make an infusion with. And the ratios of the compounds are going to be different in each one. These are more for, in the leaf, you get more of the flavonoids, which are probably the least interesting of the bioactive ingredients, as I just said. And then the extract has higher levels of the saponins, or ginsenosides. And I don't know how the polysaccharides compare, but and I also don't know how drastic this difference is. So it might be worth trying both. And also, I guess, probably depends what you're looking for. What's interesting though is these ginsenosides. This was actually known as poor man's ginseng. I think it would. One of the things that stirred relatively recent interest in it, maybe going back a couple decades, was that ginseng obviously is getting endangered, and a replacement was being looked for. Well, jiaogulin was found, and so what's interesting is that these ginsenosides, it actually has a wider variety of these ginsenosides than Panax ginseng, so in certain ways it might be better. Of course, you also have to take into account the concentrations of the ginsenosides that are in there, but it's interesting. We have wider variety, more herbs the better, to choose from. I'm sure they each have their niches. So, something you might want to look at in terms of cost and benefits. You have nothing to lose. Because of the potent anti-diabetic property, I would be careful to take this along with diabetic medication. You might get some kind of synergistic effect. But other than that, I can't think of anything that you might really want to look out for. I have no reason to think that it would make you fail a drug test. It's pretty cool. So give it a whirl and let me know what you think. Thanks.